How are we? Welcome to my YouTube channel, Live a Little, Love a Lot. And here we are today to bring to you another story for the month of August. And the title of the story is called Things That Find You. Okay? Don't close that app. Stay tuned. Don't forget to grab a cuppa. Get cozy. I'm going to start reading. I'm going to start. Meera stood at her window, clutching a half-drunk cup of chai. She was already feeling behind. She was ready to leave for an important interview, one that could change her life forever. Unfortunately, her morning wasn't going as expected. Her hair was not cooperating, her phone battery was low, and of course, it was the month of August, the kind of monsoon morning where anything felt possible, not necessarily in a good way. Meera looked at the time. She skipped breakfast, picked up her purse, and ran out of the front door. Her heels clicking, her heart racing. She reached the main road, and as she reached the main road, it began to drizzle. She closed her eyes and pictured that blue umbrella she had left on the table. I'm sure I'd be soaking wet by the time I reached the stupid interview, she worried. She spotted a three-wheeler auto rickshaw coming toward her. She waved her hand vigorously, hoping he would be kind enough to stop. The auto rickshaw ignored her. He drove past, and she realized that they already had a passenger behind. And simultaneously, 3 more auto rickshaws went by, all occupied. She looked at the time. Her eyes widened. Her heart raced. I'm late. I'm so late. I am going to be so late. Her brown eyes focused on the road, searching for another auto rickshaw. And just then, a car zoomed by. Its tires ran through a big muddy puddle, splashing dirty water on Meera. She cursed profusely, watching the oblivious car go by. Her pink striped shirt was no longer pink, but stained with muddy spots of water. Should I go back and change? Do I have time to go back and change? She murmured, she mumbled, she grumbled. She wiped her clothes with a hanky, removing the marks. However, the stains smudged and worsened. Suddenly, an auto rickshaw halted in front of her. The drizzle of rain increased. "Kahan jana hai aapko, madam?" the auto rickshaw guy called out. Meera looked up. Her eyes lit up with joy. She rushed to take a seat. "The nearest metro station, bhaiya, please, jaldi karo." Soon Meera reached the metro station. She quickly climbed the stairs, hoping to catch the metro on time. But as she reached the platform, she saw the doors closing of the metro and sliding away, leaving her alone on the platform. Great. Just great. What a spectacular morning. She looked at the metro display. There wasn't a metro for the next 15 minutes. And left with no choice, Meera found a seat. She sat down and couldn't do anything but wait. This is delays because of the stupid monsoon. She grumbled. Soon the platform began to fill up with more passengers. She clutched her bag and looked at the battery of her phone, 7%. She opened the camera and looked at herself on the phone. Her hair was a disastrous mess. Disastrous. And she looked completely frazzled. She locked her phone, putting it away in her purse, running her hands over her hair, hoping to settle the frizziness. "Meera!" a man called out. She looked up. It was Amit, her old college friend. A good friend she once had, who slowly drifted out of her life, but for whom she had fond memories of. "Amit!" Meera stood up, smiling. "What are you doing here?" "I just moved here last week. I've got a new job," Amit replied. "I had no idea you still lived here." "Arey, where else will I go?" Meera rolled her eyes. "Do you travel this route every day?" he asked. "No, but I have an interview," Meera said. "But I'm running late. It's been such a messed up morning." Amit looked at her shirt. "I can see that." "Is it that bad?" Meera asked. "No, it's okay, but I'm sure you'd crack the interview. You're a smart girl. You've always been throughout college." "Amit, this is not college. This is the real world." And at that moment, Meera spotted the metro approaching. "Are you coming?" "No, I have to take the metro on the other side of the platform." "Then what are you doing here?" "I saw you run up the stairs and I thought..." Meera went silent and looked deep into Amit's eyes. I thought I'd say hi. Anyways, good luck for the interview. Here, take my card. Call me. Let's catch up sometime. And if not this one, I'm sure there's something bigger waiting for you. Meera took the card, smiled, and waved goodbye. She rushed towards the metro, hoping not to miss this one. On the way, Meera didn't find a seat. She stood near the door, counting the number of stops that would lead her to her final destination. She took out her headphones and then remembered her phone didn't have any battery. So Meera just stayed put, glancing at the people around her, noticing their expressions, their postures, and the quiet stories written across their faces. Soon, Meera finally reached her destination. "You're late," the woman behind the desk commented. "We've already finished the first round of interviews and I'm going to start with the second. I'm sorry, but there's nothing else I can do. You'll have to try some other place." Meera stood on the other side of the reception. Her eyes were almost welling up in tears. She pressed her lips together and swallowed that lump on her throat. "Please, I'm sure there's something you can do," she pleaded. The woman got off her chair and took one look at Meera's shirt. She nodded her head slowly. "I'm sorry, but the company plays by very stringent rules and there's nothing else I can do." Meera gave the woman an understanding nod. She picked up her bag, her head hanging low. She walked out of the building, took the flight of stairs leading to the main road. And just then, snap! Meera collapsed on the stairs. One hand gripping the railing for balance, her breath shaky from the stumble. Her broken heel dangling was a gentle reminder of her disastrous morning. And then it began to rain. She hobbled across the nearest awning, trying to hold the broken heel in place with dignity. Then that's when she spotted him, a small cobbler in a tiny setup under a plastic sheet mending shoes with a quiet kind of focus. He looked up, smiled, and without a word gestured for her sandal. Meera sat. He worked. The rain grew steadier. They talked about the weather, his grandchildren, and her day. "Job interview?" the cobbler asked. Meera nodded, feeling utterly useless. "It didn't work out? Where did you go?" the cobbler asked. "That tall building around the corner," Meera replied. She sounded so glum. "Oh, that building? It's good you didn't get through. I don't think you would fit in there. The people over there are too uptight, too much rubbish, too snobbish. They think they are too special, you know." "How do you know?" Meera asked. The cobbler shrugged his shoulders, tilting his head to the side. "Maybe you should go to the building 2 blocks down from here. I'm sure you'd get in there." Meera listened attentively. But before she could ask any more questions, the cobbler handed her the mended shoe. "It's as good as new," he said. "How much?" she asked. "It's okay. Kindness doesn't always have to come with a price. Good luck finding a job." The cobbler grinned, flashing his chipped, broken-toothed smile. Meera smiled, left feeling warm. She walked past the cafe and suddenly realized she hadn't had a bite to eat. She halted and looked inside through the large window. It seemed very warm and cozy. She stepped inside and stood in line, drooling over the menu over the counter. The seats were filled with people. Each and every one of them was staring at their screen or their phone or their laptops. It was like she had entered another world where people don't communicate with each other but just with the screen. Meera placed her order. She carried her packages out of the cafe. Her order was to go, by the way. She headed back to the cobbler around the corner and handed him a brown paper bag. "I've got you something to eat." She smiled and thanked him wholeheartedly. "Remember, 2 blocks away," the cobbler called. Meera looked over her shoulder and nodded. Initially, she thought the cobbler was out of his mind. How could he, of all the people, know where she should go for a job interview or which is a good place to work? But her curiosity got the better of her. Meera decided to walk 2 blocks and she found the same building the cobbler was talking about. Finally, she stood at the foot of the tall building. She looked up. No harm trying, she thought. She walked up the stairs. She found a woman at the reception. She was taking call after call after call, but Meera waited patiently. This time, she was not in a rush. She was calm, composed, and she was curious to know more. How can I help you? The woman behind the desk asked. She finally placed the receiver. Do you have any job vacancies? Meera asked. What profile are you looking for? I'm a content writer. Here, this is my CV, Meera said, taking out her resume, taking out the file out of her bag. The woman studied the first page of Meera's profile. I'm sure there's something we can do, but you will have to give me some time. Absolutely, sure, I can wait. Meera smiled, her heart suddenly filled with joy and excitement. By the way, how did you get to know that the interview is scheduled today? The woman asked. Honestly, I had no idea. I just walked in, Meera stammered. Oh, take a seat. I'll get back to you. Now, by the end of the day, Meera entered home. She entered her home drenched in the rain. She kicked off her heels, put her phone that on charge, which had run out of battery hours ago. She stripped off her wet clothes and hit the shower. After a long warm soak, she made herself dinner. She slurped on cup noodles and watched TV. And about an hour later, she tucked herself into bed and she stared at her phone, swiping through the randomness of social media, passing her time. Just then, an email notification appeared. Meera opened it. She read it. She couldn't believe her eyes. And there it was, a chance. This email was calling her for the next round of the interview. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., she read. I can't believe that this is happening. I have an interview tomorrow. I cleared the first round. This is unbelievable. The following morning, Meera was up earlier than usual. She left her home ahead of time. She got an auto rickshaw the moment she reached the main road. The metro and Meera arrived simultaneously at the platform. Meera reached her office 15 minutes earlier. She stood tall, neat, and presentable on the other side of the counter. The woman smiled and asked her to wait. Now, after several long hours and multiple rounds of interviews, Meera walked out of the office feeling tired and overwhelmed. A strange calm followed as she walked down to the closest sweet shop. The rain had thinned into a lazy drizzle. Meera stepped out of the sweet shop. She walked with purpose. Almost excitement, the box cradled in her arms. She turned the corner and scanned the row of street side stalls, eyes darting past the tea seller, the key maker, the man selling belts, and an old cobbler. Meera blinked, stepping closer to where she sat the day prior. Her broken heel was resting in his hands, but now the stall was different. It was in the wrong place. The cobbler was definitely different. He seemed disinterested and slovenly. She looked around, unsure. Excuse me, she called out to the tea seller. The cobbler who was here yesterday, where did he go? The man gave her a puzzled look. Cobbler? There's no cobbler here. This is the only cobbler here, which is down the road over there. But there was a different one here yesterday. Right here, she insisted, pointing at the empty spot. The tea seller shook his head. No one else sits here, not in the rain. You must be thinking of someone else. Maybe you've got the wrong side of the road. Meera stood still, her hand tightening around the box of sweets. She walked over to the man selling belts. There has never been a cobbler over here, madam. Kahin aur dekh lo. Meera stood there confused. She looked around to see if she had reached the right place. Was she at the right place? She saw the same tall building where she was rejected. She saw the same flight of stairs where she fell and her heel went snap. She looked down at her foot. The newly heeled sandal still snug, the stitching neat, precise, just like before. It had happened. She had sat there. She had spoken to someone, but not this cobbler. But now there was only the sound of water dripping from the rooftops and a faint breeze tugging the hem of her shirt. Her eyes slowly softened. The disbelief gave way to something quieter, something more profound. She smiled, knowing Somehow, that some people are meant to show up only when you need them, not a second longer. She placed the box of sweets gently on the cobbler's bench. "Thank you," she whispered, "wherever you are." The present cobbler looked up, surprised. And then, without looking back, she turned and she walked away. Later that night, Meera connected with Amit. "Have you cleared the interview?" Amit texted. "Yes," Meera replied with a big smiley, excited smiley emoji. "See, I told you," he replied. "This is all thanks to a disappearing cobbler," Meera texted. "A what? A what cobbler?" And that's the end of the story. I'm sure you liked it. I hope you did. Do share it with your friends, your family. Don't forget to subscribe and drop a comment. Why? Because it matters to me. Stay tuned for the next one. Take care.